Well, there's an update too. Just over an hour after the British airstrikes in Iraq, the capital Baghdad came under terrorist attack. At least 25 people have been killed by a car bomb and mortar rounds in the capital's mainly Shia districts. That news has just been coming through in the last hour or two. These are the latest Baghdad pictures from our video agency, Rupley. The capital had been beefing up security in the light of reports suggesting Islamic State jihadists were just about an hour's drive away. As I say, question marks over how successful that anti-terrorist security beefing up has been then, considering there have been some attacks. This, unfortunately, was not enough, though, as I say, to prevent the latest attacks in Shia areas. Let's talk to journalist John White. He specialises in British politics. He's joining us on the line from Edinburgh. Sir, my name's Kevin Owen. You're live on RT International. Hope you can hear me. Thanks for being with us. As I just mentioned there, we're hearing, what, just an hour or so after the British let its tornadoes rain down some bombs, the terrorists responded back. Was that to be expected or not?
Well, that's to be entirely respected. The entire policy of the British government in the region, going back to 9/11 and even before 9/11, has been one disaster after another. And with IS fighters 1 hour away from the gates of Baghdad, we are looking at a catastrophe unfolding. The idea that 6 tornado jets are going to turn back IS fighters who have the clear support of the Sunni tribes in the north of the country is fallacy.
Yeah, but Iraq was calling out for help from America and the Allies. What could they do? They couldn't just stand there and go, no, we're not getting involved. Or could they?
Oh, indeed. I mean, I'm talking about the policy going back years, not just in the last few months. But the problem is that we are getting involved in a political crisis in Iraq, an internal crisis, a sectarian struggle with the Shia and the Sunni. The Maliki government, which the US and the UK supported for many years, has extended itself in oppressing and repressing the Sunnis. If you remember, it was with the support of the Sunni tribes a few years ago that the original incarnation of ISIS, the Al-Qaeda in Iraq, was defeated and forced out of the country. It moved to Syria, morphed into ISIS, and now it's back. And this time it has the support of the Sunni tribes because of the policies of the al-Maliki Shia-controlled government.
So we are involved in a sectarian... Let's just get back, totally taking the recent history here, but let's just talk about these precision airstrikes we're talking about. Just to reiterate, these British precision airstrikes, you think they're going to mean nothing?
Well, they're going to have a difference, but they're not going to make the difference that it needs to make in terms of rolling back the momentum of IS, because they have the support of the Sunni majority, the tribes in the north of the country, that they are providing them with the support, the logistical support, and without that support they would not have been able to advance this far. So how much does it need to be ramped up then, do you think? Well, there needs to be a concerted effort to bolster the Iraqi army, which seems to be demoralised at present. It is folding, it seems, with every contact. It needs to support the Peshmerga. We're hearing reports today that Peshmerga fighters are still using Second World War weaponry. It needs to seek an alliance with the Syrian government rather than continue this ridiculous policy of trying to undermine it. And it needs to coordinate with other actors in the region, that being Iran. So unless that is done quickly, then, as I say, we'll have a catastrophe that's unfolding and it's not going to get any better. I
wonder what the British public are going to think of that in light, of course, of the Home Secretary only today saying that there was a worry that at some point, she didn't say when it would happen, but there was a worry that maybe these terrorists could get hold of nuclear material, maybe drop a dirty bomb somewhere in Britain, or use some biological warfare. And that's coming, of course, hot on the heels of those reports we heard in the last couple of days as well from Iraq, saying they had evidence. It confused America for a minute, but they had evidence. They thought that there could be planned bombings on the Paris subway or maybe an American subway. Do you think people in America and Britain are getting behind this because they're so afraid of ISIS and the terrorists? Do you think they're going to be behind an increase in bombings now, more of what we're seeing tonight?
Well, clearly anything to defeat this band of murderers is going to be popular. No one is defending ISIS at all. It's about the methods we are employing to try to do so, whether they are effective or not, whether they are going to make the situation worse or better. And clearly the British public has reason to be concerned. But we have to understand the causes of this crisis if we're going to solve it. And the causes is Western foreign policy, lurching from one disaster to another and intensifying a crisis when it should be taking steps to alleviate it on the way to resolving it. And so there is a clear threat from returning jihadis, but make no mistake, we've been supporting these jihadis. Not too long ago, the BBC was carrying interviews with these jihadis where they were comparing themselves to the international brigades that fought in the Spanish Civil War in the 1930s. You couldn't make it up.
Journalist John White in Edinburgh, thanks for your thoughts tonight. Thanks for being live on RT International.